So, okay po, Miss Karen. So muli po, ako po yung nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagpapaunlak. This is
Anytime.
such an
I'm happy
honor for
to be
me.
here. I'm happy to be here,
Opo.
Raymond. Really.
Talaga pong lalo na akong manonood araw-araw ng mga shows na meron pa kayo for ABS-CBN.
I thank you. Thank you.
Opo. Ma'am, matanong ko lang po, noon po talagang college, talaga pong ang course nyo is really broadcast journalism.
Yes. So nung I really wanted to take up fine arts nung una because I'm also very good in designing. Pero my father made a joke and said, "Nako Karen, baka maghirap ka sobra dyan." Kasi nung panahon na yon, hindi pa naman, wala pang, di pa, alam mo yon ngayon kasi ang dami ng sikat, di ba, ng mga designers. So he said, parang look for a course that's more, parang broad in coverage. Noong high school pa, mahilig na ako magsulat at editor ako ng aming high school magazine. So I decided to also take up mass comm. And then I just majored in broadcasting.
So, noon pong panahon yun, after nyo pong graduate from college, so, doon na po nagsimula talaga yung karera ninyo sa television. And is it right to say na yun po ay sa GMA7 nga po?
Yes. So my first job was actually in GMA7, the business show, Business Today, in 1993 with Mon Isberto and Rico Hizon. Yes. A few months after, I did a GMA News Live, yun yung hourly news breaks ng GMA, and then Brigada 7, and then Saksi. And then naging extra, and then I joined the probe team. So I was in GMA7 for 6.5 years. Tapos in the year 2000, I just wanted to grow. And so I moved to ABS-CBN in the year 2000. I've been with ABS-CBN now for 20 years. And I honestly, I'm grateful for starting out in GMA and learning what I did there. But I'd really have to say that I am who I am today because of all the breaks that ABS-CBN gave me. And because ABS-CBN kasi is a much larger network, there were just many areas for me to grow. Alam mo yon, Raymond?
Opo.
Kumbaga, nakapag-radyo ko sa ABS. So, nag-correspondence ako. After nun, nag-iba't ibang show. Ang dami kong nagawa sa ABS-CBN. Tapos, dahil may cable network, eto pa, nakapag-daily show ako na Head Start. So, marami kang areas for growth.
Sabi ko nga po, nung pinapanood ko kayo nung panahong pinapanood ko kayo since then, sabi ko parang lahat nagawa na ni Miss Karen kasi you also had Simpleng Hiling.
Yes.
Yung Saturday show, tapos nag-XXX din, pati yung mga expose na yun. You also had, tama ba ang recall ko po, Ako Ang Simula with Attorney Puchoy Labog and Anthony Taberna.
And also Anthony. Yeah.
And you even had Crusada, Miss Karen, di po ba?
Yes, ang nangyari ang Crusada, it's technically correspondence. Yeah.
Opo. Nag-air siya ng Thursday naman po, right?
Long form.
Kasi una ko po kayo napanood nga, doon sa 5:30 slot, yung Saksi ng GMA. Yun talagang sabi ko kasi...
I mean, that was very special to me because I was the first primetime Tagalog news anchor of GMA7 with Mike Enriquez.
Opo. Until yun na nga yung lumipat din po si di ba? Then after that, lumipat si Miss Mel. Kasi po kaya ako kayo napapanood noon, pinapanood ko yung Mudyako. After ng Mudyako, Saksi, bago po kami maghiwa-hiwalay ng mga kalaro ko, tumuturo kami ng Saksi. Kaya po kayo nakatatak sa akin.
Okay.
Kaya po nakatatak kayo sa akin until nga po nung malaman kong kayo ay lumipat na with ABS-CBN. Laking tuwa ko nun, Miss Karen. Talagang kahit gabi, kung anong time slot, pinapanood ko po kayo.
I thank you, Raymond. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Kasi po, needless to say, talaga naman pong kayo isa sa pinakamagaling na journalist ng Pilipinas.
I thank you. I appreciate that, Raymond. Yeah, and to God be the glory for that. I really
Mhm.
believe that we are called to fulfill a certain purpose.
Mhm. Kaya nga po bukas, 'di ba, Monday, aabangan ko po kayo sa TV Patrol.
I thank you. And my head start din tomorrow,
Apo.
8 to 9 in the morning. So I think we have Senator Franklin Drilon as our
Mhm.
guest. And we are trying to also get another guest from the lower house kasi may malaking balita tomorrow sa mababang kapulungan.
Mhm. Ma'am, dito po matanong ko lang po, what is the most fulfilling part of being a journalist?
I think I'll be honest, the most fulfilling part, iba-iba yan because I've done so many things. The most fulfilling part is when you make an impact. So for
Mhm.
example, nag-DZMM ako for maybe 18 years or 19 years before I took a leave. And what's always been impactful for me in DZMM is kapag meron akong komentaryo at yung komentaryo ko pinakinggan ng hindi lang listener kundi politiko and it affects policy. Nung
Mhm.
ako nagko-correspondence at let's say meron kang expose or documentary, you call attention to the plight of a certain issue and then there's a change in policy. Or head start na lang. Kapag may in-interview akong newsmaker, politician, and you challenge them or you ask them, um, let's say, on a certain issue that has not been addressed, and then suddenly they take it up in the Senate or they take it up
Mhm.
in the lower house, and then there's a change in policy. I think
Mhm.
for me that matters because the reason we're here is to affect decision making, but it's also to contextualize issues for the viewers and the listeners so that they can make better choices in the future.
Mhm. My next question, ma'am, is you may answer this. Pwede naman pong pwedeng sagutin niyo po, pwedeng hindi. At ito po ay sabi ko ay hindi naman kasama talaga sa mga questions. Pero napansin ko din lang kasi, ma'am, Miss Karen, since dumating ka sa ABS-CBN, you were always compared to Miss Corina Sanchez. Though wala namang competition between the two of you, I know that. Kasi nga
Mm-mm.
tuwan-tuwa ako nung makita ko po yung may picture kayo sa isang frame. That was before
Recently at
Christmas.
party.
Mhm.
Well, I think sometimes kasi, you know, parang naging intriga yon noon to spur news.
Mhm.
But I think we all know that number one, uh, mas senior si Corina sa akin. And I don't mean in
Mhm.
terms of age. I mean
Mhm.
in terms of her experience in the industry and also her stay and tenure in ABS-CBN.
Mhm.
So ako, I feel that I have never competed with her in that realm because I run my own race and I
Mhm.
respect her and look up to her for what she's done in the industry and in her own life. And I really don't know kasi how that started, but that happens
Mhm.
kasi in ano eh. That happens, I think, in ABS.
Mhm.
Alam mo yun, yung may konting intriga, gagawin nila yon.
Opo.
So, you know,
Sabi ko nga po nun, siguro ang dahilan din, pag po nag-aanalisa ako before, sabi ko, maybe because dahil nga dati magkalaban sila ng time slot, it's balitang kay din extra-extra, tapos biglang lipat ni Miss Karen, tapos all of a sudden, maraming tanda ko po nun, ang daming nagagalit, 2004, sabi ko, para silang mga sira, kasi dahil daw po, di po ba tamang-tama kayo ang pumalit kay Miss Corina nun sa patrol? Sabi ko talaga itong mga tao ito walang magawa kundi mang intriga. Kahit wala naman dapat talaga. Di po ba? I remember you saying the last few words mo noon sa TV Patrol. Sabi mo po, wag nating tingnan ang tagapagbalita, but moreover, tingnan kung ano ang balita. At yun po yung
Wow.
talagang tuloy na appreciate ko kayo that doon sa anong yun.
Hindi ko na nga matandaan niya. Ang
So
galing
talaga po
mo.
parang, di po masasabi niyo talaga, Miss Karen, fan pala talaga ako.
Oo.
Next question, Miss Karen. Ito na lang po. Ano po ang mga maipapayo niyo sa mga aspiring journalists?
I think to all the aspiring journalists, the world needs you now more than ever. All over the world, it's much harder to be a journalist today than ever. Number one, information is everywhere. So it's such a challenge to be able to practice good journalism and even encourage people and make them critical enough to get it from the right source of getting it just anywhere. News is challenged worldwide. So I think more than ever, the world needs journalists. That's one. Number two, uh, all over the world, we're faced with leaders that also challenge um, so many things that we face in the world. You have Donald Trump at one point saying hindi totoo ang climate change. You have other leaders challenging institutions. So I think it's important to have, you know, people out there that want the truth to be told and that want to challenge, let's say, historical revisionism, that want, because when you're a journalist, there's something in you that wants to educate people. That's part of you. When you're a journalist, you want people to become educated. Now, people do it differently, journalists do it differently. And I think we need to respect that because there are different styles to it. Even in the US or even abroad, when you look at the styles of different journalists, it's who you connect to the most that you want to read or watch. But at the end of the day, it should have the same intention, which is to speak the truth, to call power into account, to watch over the governed. I think that's the universal role of journalists is to be that conscience, in the community that you live in.
Now, Ma'am Karen, though gusto ko po kayo makakwentuhan ng matagal, but naman po talagang pagka ganitong live show, meron lang po tayong certain number of minutes. Ma'am, can you please complete this statement na lang po? I am Karen Davila, and I am
Karen Davila, and I am a follower of Jesus Christ.
Napakaganda.
Thank you.
And on that note, Ma'am Karen, maraming salamat po. Ma'am, pwede ka na pong mag-plug ng iyong mga shows sa ABS-CBN.
Well, unang-una, so sa ngayon po, buhay pa po kami. Hindi lang po tulad ng dati. But who knows, ay habang may buhay, may pag-asa. So gusto ko po tandaan niyo po yan na kahit ano po ang pinagdadaanan niyo sa inyong buhay, just always remember that there is tomorrow, na naririnig kayo ng Panginoon. I did it in my own life. Just call on the name of Jesus. He will hear you. With ABS-CBN, I am praying and hoping and believing that one day we will come back. And when we do, I know that it will be a better ABS-CBN, an ABS-CBN that has a bigger heart, that will be called to serve even better. Sa ngayon po, I am doing Head Start. It's a show on ANC, 8 to 9 in the morning. And nasa TV Patrol po ako ng Monday and Wednesday. Pero I do hope that you watch all the ABS-CBN shows if you can and when you can. Thank you.
At wag po tayo mag-skip ng ads sa YouTube.
All right.
Dahil
Thanks.
po, dyan po nagmumula ang income ngayon din ng ABS-CBN. I am a fan of ABS mula po pagkabata.
Thank
At
you,
yan
Raymond.
po ay
Thank you.
aking pinapanalangin na sana po sooner, sana sa mas madaling panahon, makita ko na po ulit kayong nasa ere. Lahat po kayo nasa
Thank you.
ere.
Thank you and good night to all of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Miss Karen Davila.